Hamilton and Ferrari rumours have been going around for years, but it seems to be different this time, as Ferrari is apparently preparing a £40 million bid for the 7-time Formula 1 world champion. And this is all happening whilst Lewis Hamilton is in the last year of his Mercedes deal. Thus, speculation regarding his future in the sport has been rampant. Could it become reality? Will we see Hamilton drive in red next year? Throughout the season, the Briton has reiterated that his future is with the Mercedes team, and he's not entertained any thoughts of leaving Brackley. Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff has also stated that any contract renewal for Hamilton would be contingent on certain number adjustments. According to Mail Sport, Ferrari president John Elkann is in close contact with Hamilton and is ready to make a massive offer to attract him to Maranello. The article states that Ferrari is considering two options for replacing Charles Leclerc or Carlos Sainz. Both drivers' contracts extend after this season. Ferrari might contemplate arranging a move for Sainz to another team in order to accommodate a Leclerc-Hamilton partnership, or Leclerc could depart in a hypothetical swap deal with Mercedes. Any choice Hamilton takes this season will almost certainly be influenced by the success or failure of Mercedes' improvements. With Brackley slipping farther behind the powerful Red Bulls in 2023, the W14 will be substantially modified during the season in an attempt to reverse the team's downfall. Similarly, Ferrari is looking to close the gap on Red Bull throughout the rest of the season and give a ray of hope for a campaign for the 2024 championships. Hamilton will seek to put himself in the best car possible in order to win a record-breaking 8th Drivers' Championship. While signing a driver of Lewis Hamilton's size and talent would never be a mistake, it would be needless for Ferrari. Furthermore, such an ambition raises serious concerns about a long-time Formula 1 underachiever's decision-making procedures and focus. Regardless of how serious Ferrari's alleged £40 million proposal is, given the issue it confronts, this makes no sense for Ferrari. Although recruiting Hamilton may address many problems, they aren't the ones Ferrari is dealing with. F1's most veteran team is on course to complete its 15th season without a world championship, matching the record drought set between its constructors' triumphs in 1983 and 1999. It's not been short of high-quality drivers throughout this period, having employed Felipe Massa, Kimi Raikkonen, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel, and current combo Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. You might argue that there were times when the drivers didn't exploit what was feasible. In 2018, the Ferrari was possibly capable of a title triumph, with Vettel making too many mistakes. But the problems are more widespread. As a result, the solution does not lay with those in the cockpit. Hamilton provides extensive expertise, a high degree of performance, and stellar quality, all of which impart commercial rewards. But as a 38-year-old, it's not the same as utilising a 27-year-old Michael Schumacher as the foundation stone for the Scuderia's following decade, as it did in 1996. That equation could have been different 5 or more years ago, but not now. Ferrari already has a driver it can build its future on in Leclerc, with Sainz making it excellent teammate. As enticing as a Hamilton-Leclerc collaboration may appear, it has limited potential in terms of both immediate and long-term effect, and it will come at a high cost. Perhaps there's a case to be made that throwing large sums of money at Hamilton is prudent within the cost cap. Given the expenditure constraints, you can't just spend your way to outdevelop the competition, and drivers are exempt from the cap. However, there are several areas where such funds may be invested in ways that are either unconstrained or just partially confined by the cost cap restriction. Why not instead invest in your infrastructure, your facilities, and your working practices? In addition to any Hamilton deal, there would almost certainly be further investment required to get rid of Sainz, who is under contract for next year. Is it the best manner to spend Ferrari's fortune? Bold driver movements have their place, and there are times when they represent the final piece of the jigsaw that a team need to allow its strength to coalesce into success. Pitching for Hamilton would make sense if that were the case for Ferrari. However, Ferrari is not in that scenario. Worse, because this appears to be driven from up high, i.e. the senior corporate level of executive chairman John Elkann, it raises the spectre of bringing in a big-name driver as the ultimate solution. There is always an element of ego at work. What does it say about your persuasive skills if you can attract the most successful F1 driver in history, one who performs at or near the pinnacle of their powers, even under during difficult circumstances. You may then bestow this gift on your squad, lean back and become enraged if underachievement persists. You might also fairly argue that if you had the opportunity to steal Hamilton from Mercedes, why wouldn't you? There's something to it given he's an all-time great, but Ferrari's case would be more compelling if he was in a stronger position. It is now dealing with a restricted car idea that will require considerable adjustments next year in order to work with Red Bull. Realistically, it may not have something capable of challenging for the championship until 2025. Most likely, the most it can give Hamilton in 2024 is a few wins here and there. In such case, the attention must shift elsewhere, and driver continuity will aid in the troubleshooting process. Yes, Hamilton's personal knowledge of Mercedes would be useful, but as Ferrari continuously remind us, the car's flaws are widely known. For Ferrari to succeed, team principal Fred Vasseur and the Gestione Sportiva must be let to do their jobs with minimum intervention from above. Give them the tools, resources and time they need to complete the task, which is best determined from inside the team. It's unclear that a driver change is at the top of the agenda, considering that Hamilton's presence in an underperforming team would just attract attention to its shortcomings. None of this matters to Hamilton. Of course, if he's approached by Ferrari and is drawn to the concept, he may sign on the dotted line. He has nothing to prove in Formula 1, and if racing for Ferrari is a dream unfulfilled, why not? It would also benefit F1 since high-name drivers transferring teams is usually huge business. But if, and this is a huge if, Hamilton truly wants to leave Mercedes and join Ferrari, it does not make it the best move for Ferrari. There are other priorities that must be addressed. Signing Hamilton is equivalent to not just covering up the gaps, but denying they exist in the first place. But as every driver's desire is to drive for the greatest F1 team in history, being a world champion with Ferrari means having the love of the Italian people forever. And it might even make sense for Hamilton to make the switch. Above all, Ferrari is a glitzy and glamorous squad of luxury and style icons. Ferrari drivers are historically celebrated, feted in the most luxurious places on the planet. Hamilton considers the globe to be his natural environment. Ferrari matches him perfectly from this reason alone. Hamilton has the imprint that he can only win with the best vehicle on the field. The seven-time champion can show that this preconception is absolutely unfounded at Ferrari. If, like Michael Schumacher, he wins championships with a car that is not the quickest on paper and pulls the team back in the correct direction based on his expertise, he will transform his standing in the history books. So too with the most significant team in Formula 1 history. Wherever there is discussion over who is the best F1 driver of all time, Hamilton can offer the final proof that he deserves that title by winning the World Championship for Ferrari. In any case, a change of scenery is beneficial to Hamilton. He's gone through a lot at Mercedes, and the Brit appears to be happy with it all at times. George Russell, a younger teammate, regularly beats him. A fresh atmosphere with a significant challenge may totally reignite the fire in a driver who has largely been seen in the midfield recently. But signing Hamilton will not be an easy job for Ferrari. Toto Wolff, Mercedes team principal, has refuted reports that Lewis Hamilton may leave for Ferrari or retire, but has admitted that discussions are uncomfortable. Both Wolff and Hamilton have stated publicly that they're looking to extend their present alliance to keep the Briton racing with the Silver Arrows far into his 40s. Mercedes' troubles under F1's new regulations have allowed suspicions about Hamilton's future to arise on a regular basis. On his potential to move to Ferrari or retire instead of continuing with Mercedes, Wolff told OE24, "These rumours come up every 2 years when we have to sign a new contract. But none of this is true. We discuss normally without any time pressure. It's just uncomfortable that two friends, two blood brothers who have been through thick and thin for 10 years, suddenly have to discuss money. I'm firmly convinced that we'll find each other. There's not a millimetre of doubt for me." So, will this be the last time we'll ever hear Ferrari-Hamilton rumours? Or is it actually going to happen? If Hamilton decides to make the switch and win the championship, he will, without a doubt, be considered the greatest F1 driver of all time, and will shut down the critics forever. Would you like to see this happening? Could you even see this happening? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Our bet is on Hamilton staying with Mercedes unless the upgrades result in further disappointment. We'll have to wait and see what happens.